Okay, hi class 3. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. And again, I just want to say a big thank you to the parents and guardians for doing such a fantastic job as well. So, firstly, what I'd like to do is we're going to quickly recap from last week's lesson on science with animal groups. So we had a look at the two animal groups that we had, such as invertebrates, which are animals that do not have a spine, such as worms, crabs, and lobsters. And then we also have the main animal group, which we'll be focusing on as of last week, which is the vertebrates, which is fish, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and birds. So last week we had a look at those big 5 animal groups. So today we're going to be looking at animal habitats. So animal habitats. A habitat is a natural environment that an animal lives in. A habitat provides animals with 3 important things: food, shelter, and a safe place to raise their young. So have a look at the picture there, have a pause and think about what that rabbit is doing, why it happens to live in the burrow, and think about what it's doing in that current moment. Okay, so can you match the animal with their environment? So let's have a look at the frog. We've got a polar bear, we have a monkey, we have a bird. So just to make sure we put them into their animal groups, I'm going to get you to pause the video, think about which animal groups they belong to first. Okay, so well done. So you've got the frog, which is an amphibian, so that lives on the ground and both in the water as well. You have a polar bear, which is a mammal. You also have a monkey, which shares the same animal group as the polar bear, and then of course you have the bird. So we've got 4 habitats here for the animals. So I'd like you to pause the video, have a think about which animals can be matched up with the habitats they should belong to. Okay, so again, well done. So let's have a look at the frog. Let's see where the frog needs to go. So the frog, of course, needs to go to the pond because it's a wet environment, and it also allows the frog to catch its own prey, such as flies there. So the next one, the polar bear. So we'll have a look at the size of the bear and think about the fur it uses. So of course it has to be in the Arctic. And the next one, the monkey. The monkey is very famous for, of course, eating bananas, which is very good for it and good for us, with lots of potassium as well. And of course, the monkey is very well known for their climbing. So of course, a monkey would belong to a jungle habitat. And lastly, a bird. A bird tends to fly with its wings, which is a feature that belongs to the animal group. And of course, we're seeing there is a nest, which hides the birds away from land predators. So birds tend to nest up in trees. And of course, the bird matches up with the remaining habitats. So how have these animals adapted to their environment? That's something that we need to think about now. So what do frogs need in a habitat? So clearly, frogs need food. So food such as flies, cockroaches, and spiders are caught on the frog's long, sticky tongue. So it kind of extends and will catch its prey that way. Bigger frogs can eat bigger animals like mice and birds as well. A frog also uses its camouflage so that they are less visible to predators as well. So not only are frogs predators themselves, but they are also less visible to other predators such as otters, birds, and fish as well. And of course, the water in the pond is needed for drinking and for laying their eggs, which would then become tadpoles. So this means that the frogs are best suited to living in places where there is water, such as near a pond or a lake. And of course, for those of you who don't know the term predator, it's an animal that hunts other animals. So what do polar bears need in a habitat? So polar bears need food, such as seals, reindeer, and fish. So pause the video, think about our term just a few seconds ago. Which one would a polar bear be? Would it be a prey or would it be a predator? So well done. So a polar bear is, of course, a predator. So they can even use their sense of smell to find seals hiding under the snow as well. Camouflage. So this is very important for polar bears. So much like their distant cousins, the furry bear, a polar bear has white fur so that they are harder to spot, and their see-through fur reflects the white of the snow around them and helps them blend in to catch their prey. And of course, polar bears need sea ice to hunt on, live on, and breed on as well. And this is something that we're going to be looking at in a few weeks' time, where we're going to be looking at climate change and how the decline of sea ice in the Arctic is endangering polar bears. So, of course, this means polar bears are also best suited to living in the Arctic Circle. For those of you who aren't aware where the Arctic Circle is, when you pick up a globe, it's the North Pole, so that's where that would be. So let's have a look at this one. So what do birds need in a habitat? So of course, much like the frog and much like the polar bear, all animals need food, such as berries, worms, and small insects. And of course, a bird, again, we're seeing a common recurring theme here with camouflage. So again, a bird uses its camouflage, so it's less visible to predators that may eat it. So birds of prey, most likely. Or, like I said before, land predators such as cats or, well, domestic cats. And again, materials. So birds need materials for nest building, such as twigs and leaves. Here we have a nest there so that the bird can raise its young. So think about the habitats again. So clearly, all animals need food, they need shelter, and a place to raise their young. So again, the bird is managing to get all three of that. So again, this means that the bird is best suited to living in places where there are plenty of trees, such as woods, gardens, and parks. So pause the video, maybe take a look outside your window and see if you can spot any birds that may be in the trees in your garden or in the local park near your house. So let's have a look at lions. So lions are obviously very, very renowned for their reputation in Africa. So lions, of course, need water to stay hydrated in hot conditions. They also hunt prey, so that makes them a predator. So they hunt things such as antelopes and zebras to eat. And again, we're seeing a very common theme again, camouflage. So the lion's camouflage helps it hide in the long grass whilst they hunt their prey. So prey. Prey is an animal that is hunted and eaten by another animal. So that's just something to keep in mind. So this means that lions are best suited to living in places where there are plenty of zebras to eat, and there is long grass to hide in, such as the plains of Africa. So what do dogs need in a habitat? So dogs need water to stay hydrated in all conditions. They hunt prey such as mice, voles, rabbits, and other small animals that are caught and eaten by wild dogs. Pet dogs, or domestic dogs, are fed a diet of either dry food or meat by their owners. So if you've got a dog at home, have a good look at your dog right now and tell me what you think your dog could hunt. So again, dogs, wild dogs that is, have a den to feel safe in. And in the wild, this is a warm and dry place like a cave. And of course, much like your own dog, if you have one at home, and much like how I have a dog at home, they will either have a crate or a bed to sleep in so that they feel safe. So again, this means that wild dogs are best suited to living in places where there is plenty of water and caves to stay dry in. And pet dogs are best suited to living with their owners in a warm, dry house. So let's have a look at the pandas. So pandas are very famous for their existence in modern-day China. And of course, they are adorable animals as well. So what do pandas need to survive in their environment? So of course, pandas need food and water, and to stay healthy and hydrated in all conditions. Both come from bamboo, which is about 90% of a panda's diet, which grows in cool forests. And they also eat other small plants and even small rodents as well. So again, a panda uses camouflage to hide. Its white fur helps it hide in the snow in the mountains, while black patches help it to hide in the shade as well. So this means that the pandas are best suited to living in these places where there is plenty of bamboo and places to hide, such as a forest. So again, let's have a look at the fox. So a fox is something that is very close to home for us. You may spot them in the wild sometimes, or you may even see foxes coming into urban areas, such as our towns and wherever you live. So what do foxes need in a habitat? Again, foxes need water to stay hydrated in all conditions. And of course, foxes hunt prey as they are a predator. So they will hunt things such as birds and mice as they are scavengers. It means that they will all eat almost anything like insects, earthworms, fruits, berries, and food waste left by humans. And food waste is one of the reasons why foxes are seen to be coming from their wild habitat and into human habitats such as our own. And of course, much like wild dogs, foxes like to have a den to live in, and usually they have a hole under the ground for that. So usually found under the trunk of trees. So again, this means that foxes are best suited to living in places where there is plenty of water, prey, and somewhere for them to make a den, such as a forest. So animal habitats. So we, as humans, are able to change our environments to make them habitable with technology and buildings. We are able to live in the most harshest of conditions, and some animals cannot do this because they become extinct as a result. And again, for those of you who aren't sure, extinct means that there are no more species of that. There are no more of that species or animal left in the world. Which is quite sad. The animal at the moment that is very close to extinction is the rhino, which is a very sad thing at the moment. Okay, so we've had a look at habitats and the key aspects of how animals adapt and live in their environments, such as food, shelter, and to raise their young to feel safe as well. So let's look at today's activity. So today's activity, I would like you to do a virtual tour of Chester Zoo. So I'd like you to write down these three things below if you can. Please use your general knowledge if you already know these facts about any animals that you look at. So I'd like you to write down some interesting facts about an animal that you like at the zoo, which animal group it belongs to, such as birds or fish. And I'd also like you to try and add to that and say, well, there's a feature of this animal such as a panda, which has fur, and that therefore that makes it a mammal. And for the last one, I'd also like you to try and explain why the animal lives in the habitat it has. And I'm hoping that the interactive zoo will be able to help you answer those questions as well. So parents and guardians, please type in the email address, the website address just above my task for the children, and then play the video once you're on the page, which looks a bit like that snapshot I took there for you. So once you play the video, it will then create a virtual map of the zoo, and then of course the child can then roam around the map and see which animals they find interesting and would like to learn more about. So that's it from me, class 3. So I hope you're all staying safe and well. I'm looking forward to seeing you all very soon. And again, I really hope you enjoy this science activity, and I'm looking forward to marking them. So I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.